Welcome back to the Life, Unity, and Freedom channel. I am your host, Max. So, good is bad, and bad is good. Does that make any sense? So, Antifa has been designated a terrorist group, which it's not even a group, right? We all know that. And the Proud Boys are just the good old boys. They're the ones that caused the insurrection on January 6th, but they're good old boys. They're not even considered a terrorist organization. Of course, we all know that they are, right? There's a white supremacist group, exactly like the KKK, but probably worse, or probably even the same, right? But it's just not like that, right? They want an all-white nationalist nation, is what the Trump regime wants. His MAGA supporters want the exact same thing, and anybody that supports Trump. Plain and simple, anybody that supports Trump is part of MAGA is just racist people. That's what they are, racist people. When you say that an organization, that it's not even an organization, Antifa, which is anti-fascist, is a terrorist organization, pretty much what you're saying is that anybody that's not pro-Trump or anybody that does not align with MAGA or does not have the same views as MAGA and the Trump regime and Trump administration is the enemy. So let's not forget that it was 77 million people that voted for Trump. 77 million, and we have almost 350 million people in this country. So only 77 million of those 350 voted for Trump, which is still a lot. An astounding number of uneducated Americans, or they call themselves Americans, that voted for Trump. I know 5-year-old kids or kids under 10 that are smarter than probably all those 77 million MAGA and Trump supporters, even Trump himself. I know 10-year-old kids that are smarter than him. So that's the education level of the people that we have in power. It's just a bunch of white racist people that are now attacking anybody that doesn't line up with their views. So if you're not line up with Christian nationalism, you're against the current Trump administration and Trump government, cabinet members, MAGA. That's the America we live in now. If you're not with MAGA and Trump, you're against them, and we are all going to be targeted. Of course, if you speak up, more so, right? If you just stay quiet, maybe not. But I think that possibly eventually you will, even if you don't speak up. Because it's all going to come down to one simple thing. If you don't side with Trump and MAGA, you're against them. And that's all they can see. They cannot see past that. That's just what it is. And it's not too much of a surprise that America was going to come down to this. Because if you really think about it, America is the country of war. That's just the truth. Over 700 military bases across the world. Nobody else has as many military bases across the world. So we have the budget to have hundreds of military bases across the world, but we don't have the budget to give all the U.S. citizens free healthcare, free education, somewhere for the homeless to live. So many things, right, that can be done with all that money that they've used over the decades in defense, fighting everybody in the world. I guess now the anti-war president, Trump, he's not fighting a war outside of the United States, but now he's fighting his own citizens that don't agree with him. And that's the war that we're going to see now from this administration. The war from within. The attack of any U.S. citizen that is against the current administration. So we just have to buckle down and get ready. Because it's already started. And then, of course, we have midterms coming up next year in November 2026. Who knows where we'll be at that point? Of course, we can't stop, right? We have to keep on fighting. And it starts with our local congressmen, mayors, so on and so forth. We have to press them. We have to press our congressmen and women that represent our state. We have to press them about these issues, because things are just going to escalate more and more, as we've seen. It hasn't even been one full year, and look at where we're at. So they can't be more clear in their message. It's just right there in our faces. It is us against them. That's just plain and simple. If you're not MAGA, you're not a Trump supporter, they're coming after you. They're coming after me and all of us that are against them, and we don't support their views and ideology. And that's where we're at, folks. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me on another episode of the Live Unity and Freedom channel. I'm your host, Max. I hope everybody stays safe, and peace to everybody. Until the next episode.